Yes, guys, welcome to the Titanium Podcast. Today we choose success. This is the podcast which has you consider what your life will look like when you maximize your potential, whilst asking you the question, what percentage of your abilities are you currently operating at? My name is Julian Titanium, and as your host, my objective is to help you move the needle even just 1% closer to your maximum capability each week. In today's episode, I want to talk about the 4 steps to achieve any goal. And this is applicable to every single goal, whether it's a fitness goal, a financial goal, a relationship goal, a life goal of any kind. These 4 processes, these 4 steps are applicable. And I'm going to keep this one nice and short and sweet. And I want to give you guys tools today which you can take away, write down, implement, deploy off the bat straight away, starting from now. Okay, so let's start with number 1. Okay, number 1 is to set the goal. Define clearly what that goal is. I'm talking specifics, the time frames. How long is it's going to take to achieve that goal? I want you to make it measurable. Let's say it is a financial goal. How much do you want to make? And in what time frames? And then finally, a really important thing to consider as well is why it's important to you. Get your pen and paper out, make a list of why this goal is important to you. What's it going to give you? What's it going to change? How's it going to make your life better? What pains is it going to take away? Really get to the bottom of why it's important to you. So this is where going that extra step further than a typical SMART goal, really pays dividends. If you can decide and figure out clearly, get a real clear picture of what this goal is going to do for you, how it's going to improve your life. And even another way of looking at it is, how is your life going to not change in the way that you want? What's going to stay the same? What's going to continue to exist? What pains, what challenges are you going to continue to encounter unless you deploy this goal and really go after it and achieve it? Get a real clear picture of why this goal is important to you. Imagine how it feels to actually achieve this goal. How's it going to feel? What's the emotion that you attach to the attainment of this goal? How's it going to impact the people around you? How's it going to change the person you become? And so on and so forth. Okay, so to go through number 1 again, define the goal clearly, the specifics, the timeframes, make it measurable, and state why it's so important to you. Number 2 is to determine the necessary actions. What are the key actions? Okay, now if you think about fitness, think about what parameters need to be met with things like diet, exercise, steps, sleep, hydration, etc. Really get to the bottom of what the key actions are towards attaining your goal. Okay, perhaps you've got a sales goal, okay, in your business, perhaps you've got a sales goal. What are the necessary actions to achieve X amount of sales, to achieve your goal? How do you get those sales? Where do they come from? And it's going to be deciding on, how many conversations do you need to be having? How many times do you need to be presenting to people? How many outbound emails are you going to need to send? How many DMs are you going to need to send? What kind of content are you going to need to create? Think about the necessary actions. What are the key actions? Limit it to the top 5, okay? The top 5 actions which are going to be absolutely essential towards you achieving your goal. Okay, number 3 is allocate time-sensitive checkpoints. Designate short, medium, and of course long-term goals. And these may be weekly, monthly, quarterly, or even annual targets. Perhaps your goal is far longer than that. Maybe it's 4 years or 5 years or even 10 years or even 20 years. But make very clear time-specific checkpoints in your process towards attaining your ultimate goal. And number 4, I told you guys this would be short and sweet today. Number 4 is make a non-negotiable contract with yourself to carry out the required actions. Literally write it down. Hold yourself accountable to the necessary daily actions. And even better, be accountable to somebody else, maybe a close family member, a friend, a coach, a mentor, basically someone who really cares about your success and understands the value of your goal to you. So think about it, okay? What is your goal? To go through these again real quickly, I want you to do 4 things. Set the goal is number 1. Number 2 is determine the necessary actions which lead to the attainment of that goal. Number 3 is set or allocate rather time-sensitive checkpoints, medium, short-term, long-term checkpoints. And finally, literally write down, okay? I don't mean proverbially make a contract. Create a contract of non-negotiable activities which must occur on a hourly basis, a daily basis, a weekly basis, a monthly, a quarterly, an annual basis, which are going to lead you to the attainment of that goal. It's essentially a reverse engineering process, okay? But what drives this is your step 1, okay? And I want to spend a little bit more time talking about number 1. It's so important for you to clearly create a picture of why this goal is important to you. Because although you may be inspired, you may fantasize by the idea of attaining this salary or setting up your business to deliver to this many people or achieving a body of 15% body fat and being able to bench 3 plates or landing that amazing interview which is going to get you publicized or whatever it could be, okay? Really spend time to think about what it's going to give you, okay? And even write those things down because that's what's going to get you through those dark days where you aren't immediately motivated, where you aren't necessarily as passionate as you are now. You need to be able to remind yourself very quickly about why this is important to you such that when you need to, you can call upon the discipline to adhere to that contract that you wrote for yourself to go after your goals. So guys, that's all I have for you today. A short and sweet episode for you. If you loved this episode, please share it on your IG stories and tag me in it. It's at Julian_Titanium. You can also find Julian Titanium on YouTube. And I'm going to finish this episode in the same way that I always do. Today, we choose success. Make it your mission to move 1% closer to your maximum potential, and I wish you an amazing day.